Hi, it's little Lisa. I thought I'd do a quick video while I make prep dinner for today. Um, this is a really easy crock pot meal. I got this recipe from a plan I did a long time ago, um, but it's so easy. And oh, this is still a little bit frozen inside. Let me get this bag of guts out of the chicken. All right, so I have a whole chicken here. These are pastured raised chicken from a local farm that we get. We buy about 80 to 85 chickens a year in bulk. A couple times a year we get them delivered locally, and we just freeze them whole. And if we need boneless, we just debone them. Anyway, so I have this one's like 4.5-ish pounds, and I'm gonna put it breast side down. I'm just gonna rinse my hands real quick. Okay, and I'm going to put pepper. There's some black pepper, some Celtic sea salt, and I like to add a little bit of chili powder for some flavor. And then after I debone it, I add a little bit of like either chili powder or some homemade taco seasoning, just to kind of give it a boost. And I've got it set on low. It's set for 8 hours, so you want it to cook for 6 to 8. So I'll probably check it in about 6 hours and see. And then I'm just pouring 2 cups of organic salsa over the top. You can use your favorite kind of salsa. And that's all there is to it. You just set it and forget it for several hours. And then when I come back, it'll be falling off the bone. I will just take the skin and I'll take it out, put it on a plate, let it cool enough to handle, and debone it, and put the meat back into the juices and kind of stir it around. Makes great like chicken taco. My kids can have it with a gluten-free corn tortilla if they want, or gluten-free corn chips, or I just usually do like a salad with it. And I'm gonna roast some vegetables to go along with it. So when I roast the vegetables, I'll come back and show you.
Okay, so the chicken's about done. It's been about a little over 6 hours. And I'm just gonna throw my vegetables into the oven, so I thought I would just tell you what I'm doing. So I have a tray of various vegetables. I've got some summer squash, organic summer squash I found at Costco, bell pepper that needed to be used up in my vegetable drawer, some carrots, and some onions that needed to be used up. Tomorrow's garbage day, so it's kind of like clean out the fridge day. So I'm just gonna drizzle it with a little bit of avocado oil, and then I've got a tray with some chopped up sweet potatoes. I have one child that won't eat the other vegetables, so we'll do some sweet potatoes for him. And then I'm going to put some homemade fajita seasoning on these vegetables. I'm just gonna sprinkle some on, and I'll toss it all. And then I'm just gonna stick it in the oven at about 375, 400 for probably about half an hour or so till they're nicely roasted. Just a little bit of flavoring spice on here. And then for the sweet potatoes, I'm just gonna do sea salt and pepper. You could do a little maple syrup, a little cinnamon, they'd be good too, but we're just going plain and simple. I'm just going to toss these. Spread them out. These. And the only reason I have mine kind of separated is because I have one child that doesn't like peppers, but he'll eat all the other stuff. So I tend to just, and I have one kid that'll eat the carrots and the sweet potatoes, but won't eat the rest of it. So I try and keep it a little bit separated so that they can kind of pick what they want and it's not all mixed together. Picky people. And it's not 100%, you know, some of it's mixed up here, but it'll be all right. There's at least enough that they can pick through it. Okay. Trying to get them all coated in some oil. Right, There we go. All right, then I'm just gonna pop this in the oven, and then I'm gonna take the chicken out, put it on a plate, and let it cool. And I'll come back after I have let it cool and picked it off the bones, and I'll just show you how we finish this up. Okay, so I took the chicken out of the crock pot, and as you can see, it's completely falling apart off the bone, tender. And I'm just letting it cool so I can pick the meat off the bone. But I am straining the liquid because I want to save it and put the chicken back in it, mix it in there. But there's lots of little pieces of bone and things because it falls apart. So I didn't want to take a chance that there was like a little piece of bone in there. So I'm just straining it, which means I'll lose the solids from the salsa, but the flavor's in the juices, so I'm not too worried about it. It's cooked so long that, you know, I don't think it's a big loss. The flavor's into the liquids. I'm just pushing all the liquid out. And you can add as much of the liquid back as you want. If you don't want it, you know, too liquidy, you could just put the meat back in and then just add it to your taste. I don't mind it juicy because then when we heat it up, when we reheat it tomorrow or whatever, if there's leftovers. So I'm just gonna stick this here to cool before I put it in the garbage. And so I'm gonna pour this back in. And as you could just put your chicken in first and then pour how much of this you want. If it seems like it's way too much when I put the chicken in, I may scoop some out, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick all the chicken off the bone, mix it up in there, and then I'll probably taste it for seasoning, and I may add some salt or some like fajita seasoning or taco seasoning, just to give it some more flavor. So I'm gonna put the lid back on here to keep this warm and put it on warm on my crock pot so that it just stays warm. And then I'll put the meat back in when it's cool enough to handle. So that's all there is to it. Okay, so we're ready to eat dinner in just a minute, and I've got the chicken all off the bone and back in here, and I had just put it on warm so that it stayed hot. My son made some plain rice in the Instapot. They wanted rice. I've got lettuce and then the vegetables, and we've got cheese and homemade ranch dressing if they want to get fancy. But I'm just gonna put mine like almost like a chicken taco salad with some cheese. And I'll be good. So it's very quick. I mean, the most labor intensive part was picking the chicken off the bone, which really doesn't take that long, and chopping up the veggies. But it's really a delicious, quick dinner, and leftovers will be great tomorrow for lunch. Bye and good luck.